The main focus here is to establish a constant shade for the background sky. It needs to be a dark shade, darker than most of the burnings I have done until now. Maybe like this, because then I have to make the clouds, and the clouds will have a variety of shades but lighter than the background sky. Many swirling shades. This contrast between the sky background and the clouds will hopefully help them pop out as flying objects. So I need to do this in many spots, especially around the sphere. Basically, I need to tear out the sky. I need the sky done before I start to refine the glass sphere effects around the engine. The background will then define the shades of the engine and the hardness of the glass effects. I need to know how the cloud look around it in order to reflect and refract them in the glass ball. The idea is that I need to have a clear concept of what is going to be reflected before I start working on those reflections. With this step-by-step progress, I'm setting up the base stone structure, setting the darkest stones that will be used to promote that 3D effect. I don't want to go absolutely black on the background sky, as this is not meant to be a nice scene. I will do it slowly by layering to figure out how dark I have to go. It is still an open option. If I go crazy, I might add some stars, but I hope I will not fall into such kitsch. So right now I'm aiming for this shade of the background sky, and then I will see what's next. Doing it with the tip of the tool will take a ton of time. I was thinking that maybe I should use a torch, but I'm not used to it, and I know that sometimes it promotes the grain structure too much. Also, if your material has sapwood grain, it will burn very quickly and create darker areas, which is also my case. In this transition, as you can see, the tool promotes the grain structure even when I try to be careful. So if I used a torch, I would get unwanted effects, and I'm not going to risk that. You always need to choose the right method for you. Someone else might like the effects of a flame torch, but I'm not going to ruin 25 hours of detailing this balloon just to be quick with the background. I hope that after I do the clouds and everything, it will unify and there will be no big problem with darker spots. Some of them will hopefully be removed and corrected. Right now, I guess I will go over this particular area maybe 5 times, slowly building the desired tone. For this kind of format, where the perspective is very high, I think I will use a gradient. I will make this upper portion of the sky even darker than I first thought, and as I go down in the picture, I will get lighter and lighter to create an atmospheric perspective illusion. Clouds, as they get closer to the horizon, have smaller details that fade away. Also, the water vapor is thicker, so sometimes it seems that the horizon is almost white, while the sky above is a strong blue. Eventually, I might end up with only 3 shades of gray for the sky background at the bottom of this wooden canvas. I hope that when I start to do the details on the clouds, they will blend properly. But I'm a little careful since this is my first time doing such big clouds in pyrography, especially from scratch and in perspective that is so stretched in the upper portion of the picture like this. Hopefully it will turn okay. So now the portion of the sky background is at least filled up. And now it's time to start making some clouds. I am going to start lightly and see what it does to the contrast of the picture in this phase. Right now everything is still very lightly filled with base tones. This work will be like jumping from one spot to the other to build a basic tone structure. Details will be refined later when the contrast starts to become unified. After I fill this space with clouds and finally decide how dark I want them to be, I need to have them at least around this glass sphere. What I'm going to do is to start with some random swirling motion to define base shapes. After I see how it looks, I will refine the clouds even more. It will depend on the quality and the effect I'm able to achieve. The dynamics of the clouds will appear from what I'm doing now, random swirling while hoping for the best. To define the dynamics flow of the steam, I will rely only on random movement. I don't have any reference, although I would like one, but I don't have any for this kind of perspective. It's winter outside, the sky is gray with nothing interesting there, so these shaky hands are the only reference I have. At least this is going to be an interesting experience. I do have some pictures from the internet, but they are not what I wanted. I'm going lightly, and when I see something interesting, I will promote it and refine it in more detail. I will go back several times, here and there, and add some darker tones depending on the feeling I get from it. It doesn't look like much right now, but I hope it will add up. Making clouds in pyrography is forgiving. If I make some mistakes, I hope they will get lost in there. I'm more afraid of these dull spaces that needs to be filled with an unified shade. What I said at the beginning is now different. I was not sure how dark it should be, but I ended it like this. It seems I have to go this dark, otherwise I will not get the depth I want for the clouds. I was not satisfied with the contrast, so I went much darker here. This darker shade will eventually give me more tones to play with in the cloud sections. I need a darker background to create more grayscale and more shades for the clouds. So I will go with this dark shade and then I will see. Some time has passed and now I'm at this stage. I'm doing clouds, but they are not exactly what I wanted. The perspective is so steep that I need to make the edges of the clouds thinner. I was burning more and many layers are lost now, but I think making it in one pass was not a good idea. I will have to use sandpaper later to uncover some burnt areas and make them more fluffy. But for now I have only a tiny edge because the upper portion of the image is almost right above the spectator. The clouds are mainly seen from the bottom, so mainly the darker crust of the clouds should be visible. I need to make more of them and then try to unify different sections of them to be coherent, but only time will tell.